Are you a deviant? You know, like those of us who binge watch serial killer programmes, laugh at the stupid shit people do, and revel in anything adult? Well, you found your people. Join us as we crack open the door to the padded cell and release the insanely stupid, the weirdly wonderful, and those who choose to live outside societal norms. We'll delve into the strange, the macabre, the sexy, and the outrageous. So if you're a deviant, then you have your place with us in the padded cell. Hello and welcome to episode 28 of the Padded Cell podcast.
Nearly at 30. It's not an exciting plan for 30.
We have got something exciting planned. Well, it's Ryan. Is that exciting?
Depends.
Okay, so for episode 30, I don't know what you guys are doing.
Nope. We know.
You know, and I agreed to it and now I wish I hadn't because you've been scheming and I'm like, what are you talking about? Can't tell you. So I'm a bit nervous, can't lie. Anyway, so this episode is going out on the 28th of March, which is Lady Gaga's birthday.
I love Lady Gaga. Early 40s.
I thought she was in her 40s. Now, okay, I can't remember exactly. When I read it, she was like 38, 39. She was under 40. I thought she was older than that. Not necessarily because she looks old, she just feels like she's been around forever.
Yeah.
And she's quite a character actor as well, isn't she? So she ages sometimes their roles and stuff. So yeah, Lady Gaga's birthday. And it's International Put Something on a Stick Day.
Anything.
Well, it says International Put Something on a Stick Day. It doesn't say that it's actually food, but it's food. Because at first I'm like, is this like, you know, the penis of your enemies?
Well, you can get a dick on a stick.
You can get a dick on a stick.
Little pancake thing.
Who sent me this recently? Somebody on Instagram, right? They went to Barcelona, I think it was. And they went, oh my God, we were in Barcelona, went to this market, we've got a dick on a stick.
I'm sure there's one in Camden.
Is there?
I think so.
That they do dick waffles?
Yeah.
Well, this person anyway was showing me this amazing picture of them with the dick waffle with the cream on the top of it, just the way you described it. It's real. And I said, please tell me there's kids walking around with dicks on sticks. She said, yeah.
Yeah. They'd be oblivious, suddenly. What's this?
Absolutely brilliant. So put something on a stick day. So you'd put a dick waffle on a stick. So yeah, when I read this, I was like, put anything on a stick? You mean like impale people? Is this like the Purge? Purge Lady C styling. Oh, I mean, obviously gone full Lady C there because it's a Lady C episode, as you can tell from my dress. And if it's your first time, now you know. Right, do you remember I told you I met somebody in a shop recently?
I did.
I'm going to tell the masses about it because I said I'd give her a little mention. So there's a retail chain in the UK called Next, if you haven't heard about it. And it sells clothes and stuff. And I'm there in the queue. And this lady was like looking at some stuff. And I said, excuse me, are you waiting in the queue? And she went, no, it's all right. Oh my God, I watch your reels. And,
just the reels.
And well, I follow your Instagram and I watch your podcast. And I went, hi. I said, no, I'm not in the queue. So we just talked for a little bit. And she's absolutely lovely. And she said she was a little bit starstruck. And I'm like, we're only like 28 episodes in, but thank you very much. Her name's Ange. So I said, right, Ange, give us a message on Instagram and I'll give it a shout out. So her account is Ange Made It. Okay. It's ANGE. Made It, in case you want to have a little look. And she makes like toys, like teddies and that out of recycled clothes. So like, let's say, you know, your partner passed away or something, you'd use their t-shirt to make like a cushion or a teddy. And they're dead good.
Yeah, I've seen these.
Ange. They are actually very good. So if you're into that kind of thing, Ange Made It on Instagram. But she sent me a lovely message. And she said, hi Vicky, it's Ange who was talking to you in Next. I was proper starstruck. I love your podcast. It's made me and bloody bull, ha ha. Learned a bit too. You guys are fab. Whilst I'm not into your club stuff myself, live and let live. I rang me daughter when I came out of Next. I was buzzing. She hadn't heard of you, but she has now. She rang me saying I need to do a new line of teddies with whips and chains. So you never know. A little vanilla range of teddies, you know, like memorial teddies might end up being like dominatrix type teddies and stuff.
Kinky people die too.
Yeah. Well, do you know what, Ange? If you can pull it off, baby, you should do it. There's loads of people out there that would buy them. So there you go, Ange. Lovely to meet you. And a few hellos to our Patreons, Lorna, Jade and Nick. The numbers are steadily increasing on the Patreon. Really loving it. And people start to talk to each other and that, really nice. Sissy Wednesday's interview went out recently as well. That was really good. Really enjoyed talking to her.
I haven't watched it yet. It's on
I sent it over to you, didn't I?
yeah.
You need to watch it. Because you know her as well. You've interviewed her yourself.
Yeah.
It's just like a little different side to her. And her passion, dead good. And
Yeah,
somebody
she's
just
really
makes you
interesting,
smile.
isn't she? She's lovely.
Yeah, like she really knows it. It's like a super subject. And you could talk to her all day because she's so passionate about
I
it.
bumped into her the other day.
Oh, did
but
you?
she was with, I think she was with her parents or her grandparents or something, and she was like, "Hi, but don't speak to me."
Oh, you could have just been like, Nance from wherever,
I know.
couldn't you? Really, a pole dancer.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried pole dancing?
No.
Oh, sorry, just so you know, City Wednesday is a curvy pole dancer.
Yeah, no.
You've never tried it?
No.
I have once. And never ever again. I went to a studio in not Chinatown, Hanover Street in Liverpool. Loads of poles, and I thought I'd smash this. And I was a bit curvy as well at myself at the time. Wasn't very fit. And I did it for fitness. In my head, I was like really graceful. But in these studios, there's mirrors all around, isn't there? And I just caught sight of myself. I was like a turning kebab. I swear to God, it was a joke. And I was trying to do all the moves and everything. And I am one of these people who thinks I can dance. And only recently, I'd say within the past 5 years, I've realised it's not just pole I just can't dance.
No, I have zero rhythm. I did go to Burlesque for a little while with Millie Dollar.
Yes.
No, it's just not the life for me.
I've been a burlesque dancer. Now with that, it's different because you remove and close, there was a purpose.
Yeah.
So when I'm just like dancing, I'm in my own little head and I lose myself a little bit and it goes a little bit mad. And like with the pole, it was like, because it was like, I had to be sexy around the pole. It was all about me and my moves. Oh, I couldn't do it. But with burlesque, it's like, because you've got props, fans and all that. And it wasn't too taking clothes off. I'm pretty good at that. And,
Me too.
To music, it wasn't too bad. We all know you're good to take your clothes off. I think you could be a natural at burlesque, like with your bra. And you don't wear one.
I just want to take it all off too quick.
That's the point. Yeah, yours wouldn't last too long. You don't wear a bra or knickers. Burlesque was okay because I had the props, but honest to God, pole dancing, it was terrible. I was like a kebab on a spit. Anyway, so. Watch City Wednesday.
Yeah, I will.
It was good. And I don't know whether was it an episode that you were here last. Oh, yeah, welcome back. You weren't here last time, were you?
So you really missed me.
I did.
Listen to Ryan giggling.
I don't know. Yeah. Right, so Ryan at the moment apparently didn't have an awful lot of sleep last night, and he's just in the background, just chilling out. He's probably going to cause a little bit of trouble later.
It looks like he's on the sofa, I hope.
He's got no trainers on. His feet are up. In fact, one's sort of in the air on the back of the sofa. He's just chilling out with his phone, not listening much to us, really.
No.
I'm tuning in.
Living your best life over there with no kids around you.
Scrolling TikTok.
Yeah, you see, Ryan didn't need to be here for another 2 hours, but he's arrived 2 hours early just to have some rest of the kids.
And the wife.
We're not going to say the wife because,
I will.
It's true. So anyway, I don't know what episode it was now. I don't know if you were here or whether it was one with Ryan. And we were talking about the international names for the female genitalia. Was it with you?
That wasn't me.
It wasn't you. Must have been
Was
you.
it a while ago?
Maybe 3 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was asking the international listeners what their words were around the world for the female genitalia. Because obviously we like minge. Well, you don't like minge.
I don't like minge. I remember.
Minge, cunt, twat occasionally, it's all happening now, isn't it? Way back in episodes 1, I was going C-U-N-T. So anyway, I've got some through. So twunt was one.
A twunt.
A twunt, not a cunt, not a twat. Yeah, a bajingo.
Bajingo.
It sounds a bit Australian, doesn't it? Clunge.
I love clunge.
You see, I hate clunge. I like minge, you don't like minge. I don't like clunge.
Yeah, I like clunge. There's just something about it.
It reminds me of the programme years ago. What was it called? All the kids, the teenagers used to use. Inbetweeners, thank you. See, I knew you'd know that. That was Calvin. We got Calvin today because Dylan's gallivanting off somewhere in the US, New York, I think. Anyway, don't stalk him. So, Dylan. So the
We'll find
Inbetweeners was this program years ago with terrible teenagers. They were like 15, 16, girl obsessed, and like used to big each other up about all the sex that they'd had, and they hadn't really had any sex really. Very inexperienced, and the language that they used was really bad. And I only found out after my two sons had watched 2 seasons of the Inbetweeners that they'd been watching it. I didn't know. I didn't even know what it was.
I think my 14-year-old watches this.
Yeah, well, ours are about the same age. But I didn't know. And I didn't know that they had minge, clunge, gash. It was like sex every 2 seconds in it. And one was 13 and one was 16. And I've watched it one day. I went, fucking hell, you haven't been watching this. And I went, how long? Even 2 seasons. I went, oh, you may as well carry on now. So
You're corrupted now. It is what it is.
Yeah. They got the proper sex education from me and the alternative sex education from the Inbetweeners. How not to behave. Thankfully, they've turned out okay. So clunge used to come up all the time in there. And from that series, I was like, it sounds a little bit STI to me. Clunge. Do you not think, I've got the
a
clunge.
case of the clunge.
Yeah. Do you not think it sounds like an STI, Calvin? Do you know much about STIs, Calvin?
Not too familiar. No.
If you had any
Not too
yourself.
familiar. We have a drop-in at Townhouse for checks.
Never have you know?
You never had an STI?
I don't think so.
I have never had an STI.
Should I say I've had an STI? I had a little mild one when I was very young. Yeah, very young. Very little one.
I mean, I am surprised, to be fair, that I haven't, but...
Yeah. I mean, since I've been on this scene now,
Be
you're
responsible,
dead safe, aren't you?
kids.
Yeah. So you've never had an STI, Calvin?
No, not that I know of.
You haven't had the clunge?
No.
Not that I know of. It
Not
means,
that I know of.
means he doesn't test.
I know, yeah. He's pleading the fifth. So...
There's not a lot of reason to test these days.
you need to come to our club, get you a bit of action.
I really don't.
Give you a reason to do some STI checks.
I've said this before. Cuddling, yes. Hand holding, yes. Everything else.
We could arrange a cuddle puddle. Just not with us.
No.
Maybe with
Cuddling's
Dylan and
not for me.
Jacob.
That's all our Monday meetings are. We just have a big hug and go, it's all right, it's fine, everything's okay.
It's all going to be okay. Vicky and Nance aren't until Thursday.
I prefer a struggle cuddle.
A struggle cuddle, do you?
Yeah.
With a bit of bullying thrown in as
Yeah.
well. And you are a proper puddle on the floor then,
Yeah.
aren't you? Yeah. I don't know whether Calvin knows this. So if you bully Nancy,
I'll come.
she'll come. Okay, so he's
Broken.
laughing, but it's a fact.
Didn't take much to break him,
this
did
is
it?
facts, mate. She likes being bullied, don't you?
I mean, I've got the T-shirt.
She has.
I've
She
seen
won't.
that, yeah.
I don't bully you because I need you around. But Calvin, feel free to bully Nancy. You never know what might happen. Could be
can
a
try.
podcast first.
As a rule of thumb, we try not to bully the clients. I don't know what Dylan's doing with you, but...
Well, he's yet to make you come. He's not
I'm still
bullying you
dry.
hard enough. Anyway, I'm going back to the female genitalia. Penis fly trap. You heard of that one?
Yeah,
Yeah. Pink taco.
I like that.
I like the pink taco.
I like to eat them.
Yeah.
My favourite one's clam.
Clam. Well, the next one is bearded clam. I prefer my clams not to be
prefer bald
bearded.
clams.
Yeah, me too. Bit of a ballsy clam.
Maybe a fuzzy one, not a bearded one.
I prefer a ballsy clam.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't mind a bit of fuzz. I don't like fresh fuzz because it get...
not spiky.
I was going to point to my face then. God. This is descending.
You get gash rash.
Get gash rash. At this point, Jim is either going to be laughing his head off or he's going to be like,
Fucking hell, Vic."
no. Okay. I mean, we've said before, we've got no filters. So yeah, ballsy clam for me. I don't bearded. That is like beard.
Yeah,
That's
wiry
like,
and
yeah, that's like a beard.
crazy.
Don't know. I can't say I haven't been there because you need to do these things to know if you
Just to be
like it
sure.
or not. And I'm quite a bit older than you. And back then, hair was okay. I know now it's not so okay. But yeah, so a bit of fuzz now. It's fresh fuzz because it's too stingy.
just nice groomed.
But a few days growth, it goes a little bit downy then, doesn't it?
Yeah,
So there you go. Ryan is now completely engaged in our
I
conversation.
know he's put his phone down. and
I've
everything.
captured you now, yeah.
Look at that grin on his face.
So Ryan, do you like bearded, fuzzy or bald, mate?
Bald or fuzzy?
bald or fuzzy, but a few days fuzz, not fresh fuzz.
Yeah.
Then again, you've got a beard, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't bother me. Like the moustache tackles half of it.
Yeah. So Calvin, I mean, I know you only cuddle and stuff, but do you prefer bearded, fuzzy, or bald? Clams?
I'll take anything I can get, really.
Any port in a storm?
I've no preference.
Oh, he's quite easy to please, isn't he?
He is.
Really, a bit of a cuddle and a fuzzy clam. Any
I'll
clam?
take it as you come.
Any clam? Tuna taco?
Oh, no.
No, we don't like tuna tacos. That's all I've got so far. I think my favourite out of that was probably the pink taco.
What about the spam paste?
Oh, hey. Fucking hell.
That's a proper scouser, that, isn't it?
Spam. There's people around the world that know what spam is. Okay, that wasn't a
Think
fit,
she's
that was a
allergic to
sneeze. If that was funny, you can keep it in. And as long as no snot flying around. So I've got no other names for them. But yeah, pink taco, and definitely not to do with spam, mate.
No.
Do you know when we
Spam
did our
fritter.
eating challenge, I was going to bring spam. Do you like spam?
I don't mind it. I don't think it'd offend me.
It reminds me of school dinners. No. Anyway, right. So we're going to go on to our Lady
gonna get
C
the goat in a
segment.
minute.
I know. How much time have we got?
We're 15 minutes in.
Fucking hell.
15 minutes in to say, yeah.
Okay, so my first story today, it's not all about Lady C. It's about some of the mistresses I've encountered that I've worked alongside, whom I'm friendly with, and some personal stuff as well. So the first one is about Mistress Chloe. You know Mistress Chloe.
Yes.
Have you met Mistress Chloe?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So Ryan's just done an action in the background. Nobody knows who Mistress Chloe is anyway, so I may as well say out loud.
I was going to ask you about it yesterday.
Were you? Do you want me to show the listeners what you've just done? Or would you rather not?
You can.
Okay.
He looks a bit nervous.
When I said, do you know Mistress Chloe? Ryan went, yeah, I've. Okay. Was she bearded, fuzzy or bald? Don't tell me that because she's my friend. But I think she was probably bald. Anyway, so Mistress Chloe. She's been around as long as me, and she's a little wee thing, but she's just got the biggest personality, hasn't she? And she is the master or mistress of roleplay. She's brilliant at roleplay and also really good at group stuff.
Yeah.
Now, she did this scene once. I can't remember whether it was an event, but I think it was an event. I don't think it was a private thing. And she had a good 10 to a dozen subs in a row, all in the cellar downstairs, naked and whimpering. And she brought this sub down the stairs with her. And he had a catheter bag. So I think I don't think he had undies on. And then this catheter bag just sort of like, hanging. And all the other guys were like, oh, guy with the catheter, hope she's gentle with him and all that. This other sub with a tray of shot glasses.
Nice.
And
see where
she
this is going.
she had the sub with the tray fill the shot glasses from the catheter bag.
I'm very
And
growly today. I'm sorry if you can hear it.
I'm a bit growly,
on the
actually,
microphone.
and sneezy, obviously. And she passed the shot glasses down the row and made all the guys take a shot glass, not to drink, just to take the shot glass. And after 3, she asked them all to drink up. And they're all a bit like, oh, well, okay, fair. There's about 5 who were like, yep, no problem at all, mistress. A few who were like, well, if it pleases you, mistress. And the other ones are like, no fucking way. I love you, Mistress Chloe, but no, I've read. But anyway, she went down at 3, 2, 1. And literally there was some like, oh God, do this, but I need to please her. And they would go, all this, And then practically all at once, they all went, it was apple juice. But she built it up, like with the way she role plays it and everything, that this is your medicine. And if you want to get better and get out of this place, this dungeon, you'll drink your medicine.
Yeah.
But it was just so funny seeing some of the guys going, you can just see the minds going, I don't want to disappoint her because she'll thrash me. And I don't know what's worse, Mistress Chloe's thrashing wrath or disappointing her and, or the piss, basically. But yeah, it was just so funny. But there was some people that had came into the scene after it had started and didn't realise that it was apple juice. And even they would go, no, they're not going to actually do it. And they did. It was brilliant. Really, really good. So, something from myself. Now, obviously, we're both switchers and you are on the dominant side occasionally. Mm-hmm. Have you ever come across something where somebody's asked you to do something and you're like, I really can't do this, or they give me the EBGBs and I'm like, I'm not happy with this scene. Have you ever come across that? Yes.
Quite recently, yeah.
Have you? What happened there?
There was just a lot of red flags with this person. And they were fairly new.
Yeah.
And you know, people can be like when they're new and it's exciting and they want to do everything and anything. And it's straight in the deep end.
Yeah.
And I was having one conversation, let's try a bit of this, or what she was comfortable with. Yeah, great. But then that conversation was going everywhere else apart from to me.
Right.
Or Nancy's going to CNC me and this and that, and she's going to be my dom. And I was like, oh.
Okay.
Oh no.
So put the brakes on that one.
Yeah, so that quickly ended.
The thing is, when you're new, you just want to know everything, do everything, be that experienced person. Yeah. You want people to look at what you're doing and go, oh, wow, that's good. You just, like everything that's new, you just want to do it all now.
There's a lot of the fantasy as well, isn't there? Like,
yeah.
Obviously she'd built this up in her head of what she wanted. But realistically, that was never going to happen.
No. And, these, even just some of the things you've mentioned there, it doesn't happen overnight. No. These things take years. Yeah. And you're building up, trust in people around you who might want to play with you. And your CNC, you need a lot of trust for that. I've come across a couple of people over the years. There's this one guy, and he was a teacher. And it was about 11 years ago. And we'd had loads of conversations before the session. It was a professional private session, paid. And he just wanted a good beating. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, I can do that, no problem at all. He went, I want a really heavy beating. Okay. Now, you've seen me go. So, once somebody's warmed up, I can really give it to them. I use all of my body weight, all of my strength, and I can really thrash somebody. So this guy, I was working on him for about 35 minutes. A little bit of a warm-up. Didn't need a warm-up, didn't want a warm-up. And he went harder. He needed to go harder. So I stood him up. We had a cross in the room at the time. There's a wheel there now. And up against the cross, and I swear to God, Nance, I was taking 2 steps back. The biggest, nastiest motherfucking flogger I could find. 1, 2, whew, and it was not enough. So anyway, I just said, right, okay, so is it what I'm using? Is it the technique? He went, it's just not doing it for me. And so I went, right, so I took him down. And I went downstairs and had a cup of tea with him. And I said, I'm not happy to go any harder because I'm going to open up your skin. Mm-hmm. I can use the cat of 9 tails harder, but I will literally open up 9 lines down your back. And he wanted to be hit really hard, but without, obviously scarring.
Yeah.
But the conversation that I had with him afterwards was a different conversation that I had in the preliminary stages when we were planning. And I really got the feeling from him that he felt like he needed to be beaten. That he'd done something wrong. Yeah. And it's the first and only time, because since then I've been really, really careful. And somebody gives you the real willies and not in a good way. And the person that was caretaking at the time wasn't Jim. It was before his time. I sort of went on a little word to them and I said, I need to get this guy out of the building. And he was taking his time and his cup of tea, and his session wasn't quite over. Mm-hmm. So I just said to him, right, well, we're nearly done. So, go and get your stuff together. And he was just a little bit slow. So I got the guy and I went, look, we need to. So we professionally and calmly got him out the building. But never heard from him again after that, and don't really know him from the scene or anything. He just turned up one day. But I really got the impression that he's done something very bad in his life, and he was using BDSM and mistresses as a way of punishing him and living with it somehow. I don't know what it was, and I'm not even going to try and guess. But it made me very, very cautious. And now, and when I'm teaching people, I always say, think about why you're doing this, because that will then dictate how the rest of the session goes. Because from that time, I then said, I need to know what it is that you want from me from the session. Why you're coming to me, to try and get some psychological background, so I wouldn't have this potentially dangerous person come onto
It's like a
premises.
form of self-harm almost.
It is.
Yeah.
Definitely. He obviously couldn't do it himself. He wanted me to do it for him. I think I might have mentioned this before as well, but I'm going to say it again. There was another guy who paid me a deposit. Lovely. Oh my God, he was so lovely. Pay his deposit. We had preliminary discussions, came on the day, black guy, and he wanted me to call him the N-word as a part of humiliation. And I said, I just can't. And not just because he's a nice guy, it just goes against everything that I believe in. But and I was like, God, why? Why does he want to be called this?
Yeah.
What's happened in his background? Does he want to be called this awful word that we're trying to get away from? And I said, I'm going to give you a deposit back. And we're not going to go ahead because morally I just don't feel able. I've got to enjoy this as well. It's not all about you paying me money and me just doing what you want. It's about me enjoying myself, but also practicing within my own limitations. And that makes me step outside of that safe space. So no, I am not going to call you the N-word. I can humiliate you and call you anything you want, but I'm not calling you that. And he went, that's sort of what I want. I went, okay, there will be mistresses out there that will do that.
Yeah.
But be very, very careful, because it might be they just want your money off you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll call you that, no problem. Give me 100 and odd quid, but they won't give you anything else that you want. So yeah, there's been a couple of those instances. And so if there's people out there who are looking to get into this professionally, and I've had an awful lot of people contact me since we've been doing this podcast who want to go into BDSM professionally, always trust your spidey senses.
Yeah.
Trust your gut. It very, very rarely proves me wrong. If I'm having a conversation with somebody and my gut's going, something not right about this, I just don't even proceed. I don't even ask any further questions. I just step out, take myself out and away from it. And it doesn't matter if you're professional or not, you've got to enjoy what you're doing. Yeah. Because very, very quickly, people can pay you, you're like, oh yeah, great, loads of money. But it very quickly becomes boring. Because you do quite a lot of the same stuff sometimes, and you have to be quite creative to keep it interesting for yourself. But when people come to you and pay you, they do actually say, I like this and I like that, and they don't always want you to step outside of what they want and be creative. So it can be boring. So if you do go on and do this, just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, that you're still enjoying it. Listen to your gut. And if something's not right, don't go ahead. And if you're not enjoying it anymore, think about why and what you can do to change things so it's enjoyable again. Because clients very quickly learn and realise that you're doing it for the wrong reasons. They can tell. Yeah. They can tell in how you're dressed, your demeanour, how you're hitting them or whatever it is that you're doing. They can tell and they'll pull you on it. Yeah. I actually had a mistress say to me, she comes for some advice. And it was exactly that. I said, you become stagnant because one of the clients said, you're just not trying hard enough. You're going through the motions. Yeah. This is like a prescriptive session. And that's exactly what had happened. She becomes stagnant. Yeah. So a little bit of advice for you there. Fucking hell.
That made me jump.
Did it? Didn't make you fart though.
No, not Trump, just jump.
So our dangly bit today is something from you. And you're going to tell me a story. I think, was this like a changing point, a turning point in your BDSM journey, was it? Or was something else?
No, so I can't remember what the question was. You asked me, what was it?
Basically, I just said, think about something that was either a turning point or a really important moment on your BDSM journey, or an experience that stands out.
I mean, not necessarily a big turning point for me, but obviously I've been switching for, 2 years, but I'm still very new. I'm still very open that I'm like learning, and even just learning like what I enjoy and stuff. So I was lucky enough to meet this guy, Alex, he was the same. So he was just starting a switching journey too, but obviously the opposite. Yeah. So he was just starting to bottom and wanted to experience things. So we kind of went on this like little journey together that was nice because the communication and stuff was great, where we could say, I actually would like to try this. And he'd be like, oh yeah, I'd like to try that. So we were both experiencing something, not for the first time because we'd done bits, but kind of role reverse. Nice. And I just remember I was doing this. We'd done a few scenes and stuff, and people had watched at events and things. And there was stuff that we really enjoyed, loads of impact and stuff like that. But we were doing this scene, in the cellar at an event. And I just remember it was very different because it was more sensual stuff, like lots of like sensory deprivation and stuff. And then we'd done some wax. And I remember just how much that surprised me doing stuff like that. Because I thought I really enjoy hurting people.
Yeah.
Like I get off on hurting people. But this was doing it in a really different way that I'd not really experienced before. So we were doing some wax, doing some electrics on his cock and balls.
Oh.
And he really, really loved it. And I think that was the first time I'd really put someone into Subspace.
Okay.
And he was like just gone.
Wow.
He was really out of it. There was so many people down there watching us. And just you know, when I don't know if you kind of zone out, you're very used to having a big crowd watching you. But I was just in the moment, but every now and then you'd get like pulled back out of, whoa, like, what you doing? Poor Alex, fucking hell, someone help him. But he loved it. And I think just having that moment with him where we were both really enjoying that moment and just ignoring everyone else that was in the room. And it was just a different thing that I'd not even really thought I'm going to really enjoy doing it this way.
So was it the fact that you were trying different things together, or was it the fact that you had this crowd that you sort of zoned out of, you sort of part of an experience together, or was it both of it? Both those
I think
things?
a mixture of both, because even just me assuming, obviously everyone knows a Nancy nipple cripple, I love nipple torture.
Yeah.
I love like the really sadistic, hurty things.
Me too. Surprise.
But then this, like just the wax, doing it, I want to say gentle, but it wasn't gentle for him because he was in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
But it zoned him out so much. It was like a little epiphany.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
was different.
What's happened there, and it might have been the first time it's happened, is you've sort of had this sort of connection with somebody during a scene where you both completely trust each other. There's no doubt. You're both on the same sort of place, if you like, on the journey. So it's much more of a shared experience because of where you're both at.
Yeah.
You're sharing it with a big crowd of people, and that energy that you get from a crowd of people, it's quite exhilarating, even though if you're not fully aware of it at the time because you're concentrating, it's still there. And when you're part of a shared experience like that, when you've got the immediate shared experience and then the crowd shared experience, it's really it makes you also euphoric at the end of it. It gives you this like, God, that was intense and amazing.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that's the first time that's happened to you. It stayed in your mind, obviously, as well.
Yeah, it was really nice, and it was something that I've gone back to, you know, when I've been planning stuff.
Yeah.
To
try and replicate it again.
Not even replicate it, just it doesn't always have to be. You know, people, especially to me and Sid, they say, oh, can you both beat us, or can you do this, do that? And it's great, and I love that.
Yeah.
But they just want like the bruises and the marks and stuff to.
Yeah.
But that was just a different.
It's nice to take it back sometimes. I think it's also important for people to see that BDSM doesn't have to be, you know, full on pain and control and noise and all that. It can be quite calm, and sensory deprivation lends itself to that, doesn't it? Because the person eventually just gets into their own head, and then they also allow you into their head as well once they get a love sensory deprivation for that reason. And you can be, you know, gentle, and you can use like sensation play, but it can still be as powerful. You can still have the same hormone let down. Like I say, you can still get into the headspace in the same way. So it's good that you've experienced that early doors on your switch journey as well. Some people don't experience that for years and years and years.
Yeah, it doesn't always need to be full pelt.
No, definitely not. How much time have we got left, Calvin?
How long do you want this episode to be?
It was about 40 minutes.
You got 7 minutes left.
Okay, shit. Okay, thanks for that, Nance.
Anytime.
So I'm not going to do all the things I was going to do, but I am just going to talk about somebody. I've talked to you about this person recently, about in our group actually, because we have quite a lot of Tgirls following us, and And for those who don't know, Tgirls are, we're not talking about people who are transitioning on a transitioning journey or even gender questioning. Tgirls tend to be men who enjoy wearing women's clothes. It can be just in the bedroom. They're mainly like cross-dressers, but or they go to an event, a club or whatever, and they'll dress as a female, and it can be anything from literally just cross-dressing, so male, female, right up to full regalia, wig, makeup, accessories, everything. And we have an awful lot of Tgirls come into our club, don't we? And it's a very, very welcoming venue for Tgirls. And over the years, we've met some lovely guys who have bravely stepped into their stilettos, and we've seen them blossom. And it might be, you know, that they just live as a guy outside the club, but for that time, they want to escape and they want to just dress in female clothes. And some people don't, it's not even sexual to them. Some people it is, very, very much so. For others, they just want to wear a dress and a wig and have a drink and have a chat with people and not, you know, weird people out, because it's normal in our place. And occasionally we have a Tgirl that comes in who really touches us, not in that way, and make you feel like you've made a difference to somebody. And it makes me remember that not everybody lives their lifestyle, their life as openly as we do. No. And some people experience BDSM and cross-dressing and everything else in absolute secrecy. Their work colleagues don't know. Sometimes their partners don't know. Their life partners have not got a clue. And they live in secrecy. It must be so stressful to live a lie, really. And it's actually...
It's literally living two lives.
It is living two lives. And actually, it's just something that they just want to do. It's just something that they want to be temporarily. But, you know, up until now, the world just isn't quite ready. And, you know, some people are totally cool with it, but there's a lot of people out there that just don't get it. And so until everybody gets it, you have to come to clubs like ours and hide. And there's this one guy, I'm not going to say his real name, and he came into the club, I don't know, about 2013, something like that, about 11 years ago, as a guy. And he was working locally from out of the area and came in with a friend and brought in a bag with lots of female clothes in it. Not unusual for me. Anyway, it was like, during the programme Stars in Your Eyes, they used to walk out of a door
Tonight, Matthew.
as themselves and then come in with this big like cloud of fog as somebody else. Well, this guy walked through the door in the bar, went up to the changing room, walked back through the bar, missing the smoke, unfortunately, dressed as Pippa. And I was like, well, fuck me, I didn't expect that, to be honest with you. And Pippa looked amazing. But not in like, you know, Lily Savage or, you know, drag queen kind of way. Just as Pippa, you know, going to Tesco or something, just looking female. I was like, fucking hell. So anyway, we got to know Pippa really, really well. And Pippa became a good friend of ours. We found a little bit about her life, a real life. But really, the time there was to escape from all that and just be Pippa for that time. It was the only time she was Pippa. And then one day Pippa didn't come back and I thought, oh God, what's happened? Pippa was getting on a little bit. Thought maybe the family's found out or maybe Pippa's ill, don't know. And then she just came in out the blue after about a year. I went, oh my God, I run round the bar. Fucking big hug. Oh my God, Pippa, it's so great to see you. I thought something had happened. And she said, well, you know, some things have happened in my life and I haven't been back up in the area. I don't know whether I'll be coming back, not sure, all that. And anyway, came out the best night, fucking brilliant. Then didn't see her again. And then we got this letter through the post. It's not dated. I think it's about 2014. And I want to end the episode on this, well, end-ish. And it's lovely. And I read it every now and then because sometimes in any work, you can become a little bit jaded, but you can in our industry, can't you? Because it's hard. It's very hard. Obviously, you do a lot of what I used to do now and you're feeling it. And sometimes you just need a reminder that actually, we do actually make a difference. And for people out there, like, you run a fucking swinging and fetish club, how do you make a difference? Well, we do. And it's nice to read something like this to remind us that actually the fucking stupid hours that we work change lives sometimes.
It really does.
And actually, you know, protecting people's mental health and could actually stop them tipping over the edge. Dearest Vicky and Jimmy and my very special friends at Townhouse, it was wonderful to be able to come back and see you again, but sadly it is time to go. You have been so kind to me and been instrumental in my journey as Pippa. I look back to the terrified girl who came to Townhouse that first night, amazed and thrilled to be accepted for who I am. Because of you, I've been able to continue that journey to where I am now. I hope that you've enjoyed sharing it with me. Without you, I would never have had the courage or confidence. So you may not know now, but I owe you all so much. I feel that I have met wonderful people and made very special friends in you. Thank you. And in brackets, tearing up writing this exclamation. I will keep in touch via email and do so hope that one day I will see you all again. I wish you every success with the club, and I'm sure it will go from strength to strength. Goodbye, my lovely special friends, and big hugs, Pippa, with lots of kisses. We received that, and we never ever heard from Pippa again. And I'd like to think maybe, Pippa, maybe grandkids, and maybe, she's found happiness in her life without having to hide and be Pippa. I hope that, she has become poorly and passed away or whatever, because she was, a bit older. But, hopefully she's got some peace, and whatever it is that she's doing, she's happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I read that every now and then, and it just makes me go, even we can make a difference in our sordid world.
I think COVID proved that, didn't it?
It did.
How many people suffered when we had to close?
And a lot of the people that contacted us were from the LGBTQ plus community, because for some people our club was the only place they could go.
It's the only safe space that they know.
Safe, exactly. And so when the going was tough, and I don't know how many months down the line, 16 months down the line, we were like, I don't know how we're going to continue. I got a few messages from people saying, thank you for trying your best to stay open. We can't wait, because Townhouse is the only place I can be myself. And I'm like, right, let's sell some shit. Let's look around the house. What can I sell? We've got to keep this place open. And we did. So there we go. And the rest is history. So before we leave, I'm just going to do a little fetish factoid before I get the goat off Calvin. Do you know what retifism is?
Retifism? No.
Do you know what that is? He's not even listening. No, not listening. He's gone to sleep. Retifism, you would have heard of foot fetish, but retifism is the actual word, the true word for a shoe fetish.
Okay.
And so it's people that are attracted to sight, smell or feel of the shoes, and they might want to wear them themselves, or they enjoy other people wearing the shoes. And Pippa had a big thing for shoes. That's why I'm bringing it in there. She used to have lots of different types of shoes, heels,
quite
and all
a common
sorts.
one, isn't it?
It is. But it's also people that enjoy other people wearing them and touching the shoes. And over the years, I've had people like, can I lick your boots? And now I'll allow people to lick my boots, but not my feet. Or if there's shoes with a bit of foot showing, I'm like, no, I'll be sick. Do not touch me feet. But boots is fine. A bit of retifism with the owl boots. I'm not too bad nowadays, am I? But, years ago, when I was professional, like full-time, if somebody said I look like full foot fetish, I'm like, I'm not the mistress for you. Unless it's retifism. It's boots.
Lick my DMs.
Yeah, lick me DMs, you could do with a clean, yeah. So there you go. That's your little fetish factoid. So that's the end of our episode.
That's a little nice one.
It's a nice little one, wasn't it? Yeah, I didn't want to go on too much today, because we do go on quite a lot about BDSM. But I've been thinking a lot about Pippa. I think felt like it was around this time, around like Easter time, when she got in touch, and she's been on my mind quite a lot. So I thought, let's bring her in.
Yeah.
Let's immortalise our Pippa, just in case she's not here anymore. So anyway, one life, live it. If you want to do BDSM, get on with it, because you never know what happens.
Yeah. You want to wear a dress, wear it.
Oh God, if you want to wear a dress and heels and a wig and makeup and you're a boy, fucking do it. It doesn't matter what the rest of the world thinks. Come to Townhouse, because we love you. Anyway, if you're binge watching, put the kettle on. We'll see you in 5 minutes. And if not, we will see you next week. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye. And there we have it. Another day made better by listening to the curators of chaos. Thanks for dropping by. And if you enjoyed the show, we'd really appreciate you sharing your love for the Pad to Sell podcast with your friends. Don't forget, give us a follow on our socials, maybe leave us some 5-star reviews, and feel free to send us an email to medic@the-pad-to-sell podcast, or even interact with us on Facebook, Insta, and our other socials, because we love chatting to you. Be sure to stop by next week, because, as Bowie says, I don't know where I'm going next, but I promise it won't be boring. Catch you soon.